Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck. Now you might remember roughly a year ago we took a look at this figure. And this is Legacy United Cybertron Universe Hotshot. Now, a few funny things about this figure. When this figure was released, pretty much everybody, much like when the original toy was released, was waiting for the inevitable red repaint. You see, Hotshot, with the exception of Energon, had always gotten a red repaint that made it look a little bit more like the character Hot Rod. Well, I've since found out that even as far back as Armada, where you were kind of led to believe the character was a stand in for Bumblebee, Hotshot was always meant to be like Hot Rod. They just, we've talked about this before, but in that early 2000s era, Hasbro lost the trademarks on a lot of the names. They didn't think there would be an interest or they'd be using them in the future going forward. I know that's kind of hard to believe in this day and age. 20 years later, I mean, think about it. There was a time where Hasbro believed that no one would be interested in Bumblebee, Shockwave, etc., etc. Well, when in the original Cybertron line the repaint did come, it was this figure, Excellion, the Japanese name for Hotshot in the Cybertron line. And it was clearly meant to homage Hot Rod. In fact, for many years, even after the release of classic Hot Rod, Excellion was used as a G1 Hot Rod, a modern take stand-in, because people liked the figure so much. In Japan, now Excellion is the Japanese name, as I just said, but the way it was released, a lot of the figures that we just got as repaints were exclusive to the DVD, that was before Blu-ray and streaming, kids, releases of the Cybertron show. They would do like every couple episodes would get a DVD release. So let me just say, if you have the Japanese Excellion, you have a very valuable and rare figure. If you have that figure still packaged with the DVD, well, hot buttered popcorn, you've got yourself a real collector's item. Modern collector's item. And let me tell you, those DVD packs, even like Armada, even with whatever they called like Energon, I should have looked that up, that they go for a lot of money. So Excellion here was meant to be part of a Cybertron anniversary celebration capsule line exclusive to Walmart. And it was going to be released alongside the figure Sideways, which was going to be a brand new mold. Unfortunately, some stuff has been going on. Everyone had their Sideways canceled for one reason or another. But the going reason that has sort of been confirmed by Walmart is that it's a stock issue. Now, let me very quickly say, Excellion, we know exists. The early leakers had them. The figure was made. Same thing with Sideways. Excellion is actually in stock on Walmart.com now and will probably be able to be found in stores. People are a little confused about Sideswipe. I did it again. Sideways. My opinion, Sideways is going to show up on 2 a.m. on the Walmart website for like 90 seconds to like order before showing up either in Walmart brick and mortar or being sent out to one of the liquidation stores. But the figure does exist. It's available overseas. Leakers got it, so it's not like we're not going to see it. What we probably are not going to see, and that's a little unfortunate, is that Cybertron capsule line, because it kind of went under the radar, but a few months ago, one of our primary sources for leaks and coming attractions said that Walmart canceled that capsule line. Well, to be honest with you, most of their capsule lines outside of the retro stuff don't do well. The figures end up on clearance or at clearance stores. So there's that. That is a little disappointing, but we are here to celebrate Excellion. Great version of the figure. Now, let me just say right up front, if you had a problem with Hotshot, and that they remember Hotshot was released during that time where Legacy United was firing on all cylinders. It was banger after banger of a figure. This was one of the best deluxes we've gotten in a while. If you had a problem with this mold, which keep in mind, this is a faithful reproduction of that original toy, you're not going to like Excellion. Really, outside of the color, the only difference is it's the paint. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else. I will say very oddly that when I first took Excellion out of the package, I did feel that the figure was a little bit on the loose side. But after transforming it back and forth once, it felt fine. Could have been me? Who knows? But let's go over the differences in deco. First of all, on Hotshot here, we have what's supposed to be like a yellow, like a yellow with a slight gold tint. Unfortunately, the way the yellow was applied, it wasn't done in enough layers that it kind of blended in with the black and the blue underneath, giving it a darker, almost green tint, which kind of matches the color of the clear plastic. You'll also notice that Hotshot's weapon is in two-tone colors because that's actually matches the original toy. Excellion, all of that yellow paint is now done properly in gold. The crest here, gold. The eyes are still blue, and unfortunately, it's very hard to see, but they're in there. This would have been a great figure that would have been a great candidate for light piping, just because that crest is so long, it just buries the eyes. But that is accurate to the toy. You do see the piping here, the venting, gold, red. The shoulder details are painted a little differently with a little more silver. Down to the legs, you have that gold detailing. This is Hot Rod for the most part. We just don't have a lot of flame details for most of it. And I do believe that Excellion's weapon coming in clear blue plastic, while again it was a two-piece weapon because it was a missile launcher, that is accurate. I do believe it was all clear blue. Speaking of which, you do have some nice clear blue here on the back. The big thing for me, that's the biggest difference, and the one that I'm like, wow, they couldn't do this for Legacy, has to do with the paint job on the Cyber Planet keys. First of all, we have some different colors here in terms of the plastic. But if you go ahead and take a look, yeah, they went all out and properly painted that Cyber Planet key on Excellion. That really makes me disappointed, especially with the other figures like Cybertron Starscream, who we were supposed to get a Cybertron Skywarp release. So that means we probably would have gotten the key painted properly like this. Now I'm disappointed that we're not going to see that, but I'm even more disappointed that it wasn't done in the first place, because this is, what, 3 cents worth of paint? And it really does make the difference. They're both Speedy Planet keys, but... And, you know, it does snap in here into the back. You do have to manually put up the fins. I mean, really, I think more so than any of the other Hotshot releases, Cybertron Hotshot, as soon as people saw it, those early designs, they were like, yeah, that's going to be done as a hot rod. I mean, he's got the fins. So what we'll do is we'll pause right now, and I'll come back, and I'll take you through the transformation. Okay, so when we originally did Hotshot, I went from vehicle to robot. Now I'm going to show you how to do robot to vehicle. Go ahead, remove the weapon here. You can fold in the fins here. I'll just going to leave them out. You can also leave the Cyber Planet key in. First thing you want to do, give yourself a little space. You're going to open up the front panels here on the leg and just go ahead and fold that up all the way until it soft tabs into place in a collapsed position. On the original toy, this was all like a friction-based sliding joint, which thankfully they didn't do here because it's not a question of if, but when those will wear out. Snap the legs together, come around to the back here, and just fold up the feet and close those panels back up. Don't forget that these are like where the ankle rockers are, so that's why if you're wondering if they were a little loose and don't really tab in, they are meant to move. Next, what you can do is come to the back panel here, bring the shoulders back down, just to give yourselves, again, working room. Open up this back section, flip the head in, flip up this panel, and that's still my least favorite part on the figure. I don't really think it tabs in or hooks in tightly enough to secure the panel to the back in robot mode. Rotate this whole thing around, and then fold it backwards. That it'll tab into place right here along the legs, just like the original toy. I mean, it's really how it was. Go ahead and fold up the shoulders, snap them together like that. There you do have that little bit of that flame detailing that's indicative of a hot rod. Fold up the arms, tab them into place. Make sure that the forearms slide in under the legs, just like so. Make sure you have everything. Remember, the door panels do peg in, so they do rotate a little. So if you got to push them down a little, make sure they're lined in. And then close up the front windshield here. And there you have Excellion in its car mode. And you can plug the weapon here on top. And like I've said before, yep, that really is a Neo G1 hot rod. And that's really what, for a long time, this is what many of us had to be hot rod. The color is kind of, I'm trying to think of the detailing between the US release of Excellion and the Japanese release. And I think this is like somewhere in the middle. I want to say maybe the Japanese had a few more paint details here on the side. But you do have the flame deco here, the gold here on the back, the proper fin colors. Again, it was really cool especially between Energon and Cybertron, because believe it or not, that was like around the 20th anniversary of Transformers, to get these repaint homages to classic characters, something that I think has kind of been lost. I mean, again, and that's how we got the classic characters. Now the classic characters get remade a few times over in various generation lines because that's what tends to sell. Which is, again, I don't want to start the debate on creating new for Transformers and stuff like that. I think the debate has been had. It's just, Hasbro, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, no one thought there was an interest in Transformers, so you had a lot of fans who were just happy to pick up anything. And getting a red car with flames and orange colored fins, it's like, oh god, it's hot rod. That was enough to keep them happy, because we didn't know to expect anything else. We didn't know that with the first movie we would get a classics line that has a much better, in terms of sculpt and look, a hot rod toy to that modern interpretation. And now 18 years from that classics release, we have a studio series hot rod that looks even better. But that's about it for the review. There's no point in comparing the car modes. We know the colors and stuff from the robot mode, but if you want to grab Excellion, like I said, it is a Walmart exclusive. If it's not showing up in stores yet, it probably will be soon. I do believe this will be showing up sooner than, say, Sideways, if at all. So don't expect to find both at the same time. Or you might find both at the same time, but Excellion will be there a little bit sooner. And yeah, again, It is a repaint. It's a straight repaint. Um, if you like the hot shot mold from Cybertron, you'll like this. If you're a hot rod aficionado, I think this is kind of important to have in your collection since it was, as I've said multiple times, a Neo hot rod, G1 hot rod for so many people. Other than that, I really don't see who I can recommend it to, especially if you already have the hot shot mold and really didn't like it. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. My analytics tell me I still have the majority of my viewers come from non-subscribers, and that really does affect the algorithms of the channel and doesn't help gauge the interest with YouTube. By subscribing, liking, and commenting, you really do tell YouTube that you like what I'm doing here in terms of creating content, and that will in turn help promote it across the platform. Now, I also have a Patreon if you want to do like a nice ultimate sign of support. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. My attitude is, if I could offer tiers and rewards, I wouldn't need a Patreon. But if that's still a little too much for you, your views are more than thanks enough. Your support over the years has been great, and I really do appreciate it. But that's it for the review. For Excellion, this is your old pal Chuck, and we will see you next time.